souls, welcome back to the energy check-in for the twin flame energy. This is Larisa Lili Temperance, and I'm just here to do a quick energy check-in. We're going to be focusing on the divine masculine today, as I feel like the messages we've been getting the past few weeks, for those who are new to my channel, I only do energy check-ins like once a week for the twin flame connection, only because this is really the attention, how we're supposed to apply our, I believe how we're supposed to apply our attention. It's really to ourselves, embracing the inner union, the masculine within ourselves, but also compassionately nurturing our masculine, our 3D masculine as well. So, you know, always nurture your masculine, because obviously he or she is very important in your life, and they have given you a gift of transition, and obviously these transitions are never easy, and they can be very overbearing energetically. So anyways, so we're going to focus purely on masculine today. Also because energetically I feel where the feminines are is we've been getting that 9 of Pentacles energy, and what I've been sensing is that the feminines are just really purely about themselves, in the sense of really elevating their energy. You guys have been in a space where you've taken back your power, very much detached from masculines, a lot of you, or becoming detached in the sense of energetically being very balanced in your inner union within your masculine feminine energy, within your twin flame union within, which I think is a beautiful energy. I also feel that some of you are going to be experiencing, or already experiencing, like walk-ins, which means soulmates that you may be meeting. It doesn't matter gender, but for some of you it could be an actual intimate partner who's a soulmate, and some of you are embracing this only because you're so much in your Empress energy, in this really feel-good energy, that you're more open to experiencing an outside, like a soulmate connection, where I really feel it's going to elevate your energy even more feminine. So I really feel there are lessons that are going to be learned on a higher timeline with these soulmates, and essentially is the new timeline our feminines are. So embrace this new timeline, because these energies and these soulmates are more aligned with where you're at, because masculines are now back in this energy of going through where us feminines were in the beginning of our journey, where, you know, we experience our heartache and, you know, all the changes. So as I was meditating for the masculines, I just want to pull these cards. These cards in meditation, and actually this was a different deck, which I'm not even using it today, but these cards I was just shuffling them because I was going to prepare them for my general reads, but they came out for this read, and I felt it was very important, because strong energy of the world here for the masculine, and the masculines are experiencing closing of chapters, right? Really, this is a visual. I really feel they are seeing their outer world, so now they're seeing it from a higher perspective of their life, and it's really having them in a space of a combination of energies, where it is a sense of loneliness, I feel, but also a sense of needing the loneliness. They've experienced a lot of states of depression. They realized how people were holding them back. These cards came out to 3 of Swords and 4 of Pentacles. And 3 of Swords is all that heartache and the loneliness, and it is a state of depression. But because this energy has been evolving for some time, a lot of them are also in a state of recovery, and they're trying to find some, you know, relief from the pain of what they're experiencing. It's also been a very painful release, or just an exhausting release. I always just feel exhaustion with the masculines. It's a difficult, because it's almost like you know, masculines try to always, it's that spiritual bypass where they try to suppress the actual witnessing and observing of what's happening to them internally, And when they get to this point, they can't. And the exhaustion comes from having to really look at themselves from a very higher perspective. But also, I really feel a lot of the masculines are there where they are seeing themselves. And it really is a lot of things they have to face. And some of it is good, and some of it I feel is a great release, and they're just coming to terms with it. And but it doesn't come with its remembrance of pain and also setbacks for themselves and how they could have done better, I feel, because we have here the Four of Pentacles, and this was holding on to things for too long, or holding on to making decisions for too long. And there's a lot about scarcity and needing security here, because the heart, you know, Three of Swords is ungrounded energy as well. So there's a lot of finding balance here, because we also have number 4, and this is a minor arcana of the 4 major arcana, which the 4 major arcana is the Emperor. And so here Divine Masculine is trying to find this shield, I guess, of some level of stability in the 3D world, because they're releasing a lot of negative energy. And they are very observant, I feel, because we kind of also hold back of what we're doing and how we're using our time. I think more of value of time and energy at this point, and, you know, for the masculines, where they're more observant of how they're consuming their energy. And I'm seeing in terms of time right now in this 3D world. So I'm going to put this energy back, because, you know, it was just while I was shuffling, but I really was feeling that for the masculines. I'll leave these out here. So let's see what the major arcana shift is for the masculines right now, Spirit. What is the major arcana shift for our masculines? I'm not going to take these, but Temperance wanted to show up. And of course, that is trying to find that balance, spiritual journey within. That is the twin flame energy on a 5D, 5D consciousness. Let's see, Spirit. Thank you. Wow. Okay, Spirit. Okay. Beautiful, you guys. Exactly 0. This is the 0 and the 1, which is the Fool and the Magician. Look at how consecutive this is. So we just saw the World, because this is for the Fool. So now we're having a whole new cycle. So this is a whole new cycle for the masculines. Here for the Fool is a new beginning, and you're at the beginning of a wonderful journey. There's no need to have any fear, as guardian angels walk beside you every step of the way. You have unique gifts to offer the world if you will just free yourself from which holds you back. Yeah, and that's what it is. It's a lot of freeing themselves, but also it's just that world, from seeing it from a higher perspective. And there's a lot of that's happening for the masculines. New opportunities will present themselves if you truly believe. And this is where they have to be in this Magician energy, because now they need to understand they're alchemizing life. And I do feel a lot of the masculines are in that space. I do feel they can go in and out of this space of, obviously, their ego, because that's the challenge of the masculines, as always. So here with the Magician, this one is to manifest your dreams, and you're ready to go. There's no need for additional preparation. Take the first step towards the changes you desire, even if they're small steps. Notice signs that guide you in the right direction, as well as resources and support that miraculously appear. And I really feel the small steps. This is the initiatives. This is what they're needing to, I want to point out here is the judgment, review, and contemplation, which is a lot. This is definitely a review of everything, which is that Four of Swords. The Four of Pentacles and the Three of Swords energy. I do feel this path feels very lonely to them, but they also needed it due to the exhaustion, and I do feel that very strongly for the masculines. And just needing a break, and it's not, for some of them it can be very overwhelming, but others of them I just feel like it's more of an energy of like, it's like that deep breath, it's like that I needed to breathe, I needed to shut down, and coming to that realization that the space was needed. So let's see what's in their heart space for the twin flame journey. Spirit, what is in the masculine's heart space for the connection? separation. I feel they really are comfortable with this time apart from your partner is on the horizon. And I really feel this is why, yeah, retreat. This card comes up all the time with our readings, you guys. But this separation where the feminines have pulled back the energy has really allowed the masculines to embrace this space. And I think they're also learning to honor the separation, but again, the separation also brought them to the world. It brought them to the Fool, to the Magician. It brought them to facing, being more of the observer of their lives, because now the feminine energy has been pulled back from them. And they're more, now is when the masculines are able to align themselves and really prepare themselves. Let's see, what wanted to peek real quick here is major life changes ahead. Yeah. And so change is constant and an opportunity for, oh my God, we got this last time. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to pull another one, but we've got this major life changes ahead card last week as well. I want to say it was the masculine. It was either the feminine or masculine. I really feel this was the masculine. But this was major life changes. And so change is constant and an opportunity for expansion. Regardless of its shape, consider change a gift for your soul's evolution. And so many changes. Again, World card. I mean, this is a huge shift, and this is for a Fool, the new beginning, and for them to really change things in their life. Find your tribe wanted to peek out there, which is also just not in alignment with the people, and I feel a pure disconnect. And we also got that message last week with our masculines where it was just pure disconnecting from the world. So this week we've got the world, and last week was that, oh yeah, exactly, this same card. It's time to disconnect from the world. And you know, here we are again with the repeated message here where the masculines, I will put this here because I do think it's important as we saw the World card, but this is a disconnection from everything, because what's in store for them is a huge transition of this journey, and this journey to self, and this journey back home to source, and a huge desire for change that they, you know, for a long time, again, I do feel a level of regret of how they used their time, and now this is about using their time wisely now. So Spirit, what other spiritual transitions for the masculines? What other spiritual transitions? Channeling. We have channeling here. So you have the ability to convey messages from spirit. This is achieved with a quiet mind, removing expectations, and an openness to receive. So the retreat is for them to finally channel the higher soul within and to finally quiet their mind. Again, this is why I'm feeling they're enjoying, because what's happening is an opening of their spirit within and their higher soul, the recognition of their own higher soul, which has always been there, but they never stopped to listen. And I feel the universe has came in with this, with the separation, the pulling back, right, of the feminine, understanding the feminines in a higher timeline, understanding and embracing the journey for what it is, also the beauty of the gift of this journey of finding ourselves and finding a new path, right? A new path and perspective on how to transmute and alchemize our lives in ways, and then embrace new tribes. We saw the new tribe. Feminines again are embracing soulmates. Those are your tribes. And again, whether it's intimate or not, friends, whatever the case may be, but this new way of connecting with humans on a higher timeline, and you're more attracting more of these wonderful souls in your life, and it's going to teach you new lessons, right? Because now we've released the old lessons, and there's nothing to learn with what we've already processed. What's coming in is now that transition, our new timeline, and what we need to learn from an elevated consciousness. And remember last week, we also had from this deck here, living consciously. So there's a lot about living consciously. What do we have here? Yeah. Practice positivity. Beautiful. I do feel this. Be mindful of the tendencies towards negative self-talk and other limiting behaviors that can keep you stagnant and energetically depleted. And there's a lot of that I feel for the masculines, where they need to now practice positivity and how they channel their emotions and not really fall into the traps of their regret also, and get too stuck on what they didn't see in the past, and understand it's also part of the process. So Judgment Day is seeing your life from a higher perspective, and the soul introduces how you've been living up until this point when you awaken to that, and like again living consciously in that space. So now you can now make the changes you need to really align yourself and create something in a space where you're actually feeling more fulfilled. So let's see what other energy shifts for the masculine spirit. What else we have for the masculines energetically? What is going on for the masculines energetically, please? So we have, and it makes sense, third chakra, which is solar plexus and patience. And this is a redefining of our life. This is, again, that level when our solar plexus are out of balance as well. It's, it does lack a sense of direction, and our life force is kind of really dampened. And so this is the reigniting and having to be patient here with the process of that transition, and not falling into that negative Nancy kind of mindset, right? So practice positivity in this space is needed, because we can easily fall back into negative self-talk here, limiting behaviors, because we don't know how to really heal the third chakra, the solar plexus. And this is a difficult space, but I feel masculines have been really embracing this space and learning to heal this, because this is where the actual transmutation, the push energy exists in our solar plexus on top of this. So that's why sacral energy is so important for the twin connection, because it's the second chakra and it's the push energy to help the driving force of the third chakra. And here masculines have had to embrace like a healing space of the sacral as well, because that push energy was being interfered by interferences. Their codependent behaviors, and codependency can be entrapments again of the mind, limiting behaviors, but also toxic energies in terms of maybe attachments to sexual encounters with partners, that weren't sacred, just for a level of escapism, drinking, drugs, whatever the case may be. Even codependent families that really held them back. I do feel some of that as well, but just a lot of strongly limiting beliefs here, because Spirit is focusing so much about their self-talk. So I think there is an understanding for a lot of masculines of the how, but now they have to work on their mind, and they have to be patient with the process, because they can't speed this person. This is what I was saying, that spiritual bypass that they tend to kind of get into, where it's like, how do I skip this? How do I move past? How quickly do I just, yeah, I see it, but the spiritual, you can't do the spiritual bypass of the spiritual aspect of this journey, because that's where all the healing takes place, and then all the discomfort as well, which is that Three of Swords energy that we're seeing. Bottom of the deck was strategy, and this is going to require a lot of time, patience. There's no way around this, masculine, in the sense of, but it's necessary, and I feel they know it's necessary. And I said, I feel they'll go in and out of this energy of rebelling towards the transitions as well, which is also very normal, because us feminines have gone through those stages too. Being attached to our 3D masculines is part of our soul rebelling, our ego rebelling too, because we're unwilling to detach. And the strong pull we've had was always to find ourselves. It really was to love ourselves. So let's see what else. What is this third eye? Sorry, give me more on this third eye. Give me more on this third eye for the masculines. Give me more on this third eye. I love the strong energy. Wow, we have another four of cups here. So Empress energy, and this is really healing the divine feminine within, right? The pullback of the feminine. But I feel this is the triggering of the feminine as well, because they're healing that energy, and they know that in order to align to their feminine, they have to make decisive actions here. Knight of Swords in the mind. And so this is a lot of work in the mind to really elevate their energy, Emperor status. But the next one close to me always for Emperor would be the King of Pentacles, and this is a stabilization, which is that 4 energy we saw strongly here. So like I said, all those the minor arcanas are their representation of the major arcana, which is Emperor. So we have 4 of Pentacles, and now we're seeing the 4 of Cups, which in this deck is called Missed Opportunity. And like I said, there is that regret. There will be a lot of like where they were unstable and how many things. It's just such a life review of what's been happening in their life and where they did miss opportunities of the consumption of time. I feel the soul recognizes time, that our 3D body is limited in this world, not our soul, but now it's about like really, again, that judgment energy where we make the changes and we understand the power of ourselves to really embrace and make good use of our lifetime here, right? The lifetime we have now here in the 3D body we're in now. So Queen of Wands in the bottom, there's a lot of magnetism. I just feel strong feminine energy here, which puts masculines into action as well. So obviously highly thinking about the feminine and you know, their divine feminine, right? The connection to the feminine in this time of separation. And there is that understanding of what they missed out, and being able to see the feminine for what she also, or he been through. And it's definitely a form of respect, I feel, as well. Like, if my feminine was able to do this, then I can too. Obviously, you know, some of you interacted with your masculine or open about the twin flame journey and were able to express yourselves about the twin flame journey, and some of you haven't, you know. I've never, wow, we've got this last time, you guys, this Ace of Pentacles, wise investment. And this is exactly it. How we're going to use the rest of our time in this 3D environment. It's a wise investment. They're really, really focused on that. But back to my thought, you know, I never told my masculine we were twins, but I know my masculine knows that, right? He ended up understanding that on his own. And I remember when we first met, before I even knew what the hell twin flames was, on our first day meeting each other, on our first date, we had one of his friends who approached us, and literally the first thing that came out of her mouth was, "You guys look like twins." Which was really interesting in our journey. And I remember he actually wanted to see me the very next day after that first date. And I remember him bringing that up. Like, he goes, "Isn't it funny? You're like, you know, my friend said we look like twins." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, right? So crazy." But they know that there is an understanding. And I think masculines is why they say masculines always know before the feminines. They just don't put the 2 and 2 together. So masculines are just as awakened, and it was the triggering of that awakened me to this journey. I didn't know anything about the twin flame journey. I didn't even know the term. I didn't know of its existence at all. And so all the information came to me after, which is also a clear indicator of your journey. Because if, let's say, you didn't know you were a twin, you know, sometimes people are in the journey, they know the twin flame, and all of a sudden they're searching for their twin flame. I never searched, it came to me, and that's how you know you're a true twin as well. It just came, and I never knew about it. So that's how you also know the journey is very pure as well, because and how the dynamics in the masculine and feminine energy, again, his full awareness, but not consciously aware. But definitely he was the one who gave me the nuggets throughout the connection in the early stages before our separation about the journey. And it was him who was giving, but he didn't even know he was doing it, but it was him. It was all along him. So he was definitely, masculines are very present, more than they know. So, all right, let's see what this patient is. What do we got here? Defense mechanism wants to fall out. You know what? Yes, there is. Spirit, what else for this patient? Yeah, they have to be patient with the process. Yes, this is the rebelling that I'm talking about. What else for this patient, Spirit? This is the rebelling that I'm talking about, this defense mechanism, and the Queen of Wands falls back out. But the rebellious energy of them falling back into these traps, they're going to be defensive, you know, and also it's going to be a balancing act. So it's like in stages, I feel, where they'll witness their own behaviors, and then I think these masculines are quickly to bounce back from these behaviors, because the mirror is now within themselves, because the separation here, right? The feminine is completely out of the picture. There is no blaming the feminine, right? This is where they're realizing they never were decisive, right? Now they missed an opportunity, in a sense, missed an opportunity of lacking decisive and action and stability in their life. This is now their own mirror. And so this is going to be a balancing act of them really correcting course. Here we have Nine of Swords. Yep, self-sabotage and nightmares. It was their own doing of Ten of Cups, contentment and joy, not participating or taking initiatives to really bring that happiness they want. And the interruption that they made in this connection, this divine union, right, to see things for what they are, but also have a more joyful life where they also did resist in so many things, and obviously also out of their control, right? But there is a part of this journey that we have to take responsibility, because a lot of the times I'm very big on how Spirit speaks to us. And Spirit speaks to us, the universe speaks to us through our emotional body. And when we're presented many lessons, the same kind of thing, or different things that just continue to create more chaos in our lives, that is the way the universe speaks, because it's the way the universe wants you to move. Because now what's being tested is your integrity to you and the life you truly want. If you know this isn't making you happy, then why do you keep doing it? Why do you keep allowing? Whether it's finding our voice, creating healthy boundaries, right? And not falling into this Nine of Swords energy where we feel we don't have control of the change. And again, defense mechanism here is falling into some level of victim, right? And that is not knowing our ability to manifest, our alchemization of experiences, right? The Magician. And so here with the Queen of Wands, I just feel strong fire energy. We just had the Leo season, but I feel energetically this is about igniting and finding and understanding how things magnetize in our lives, how we also magnetize. The fire within us also brings those lessons, and whatever we amplify, because fire energy is very strong, so we can amplify things, whether positive or negative. And if it's within our self-talk and our limiting behaviors, right, then we're going to amplify more of those behaviors because of the magnetism within that fire, that energy we apply to it. And I think this is more about conscious living here. Here, wow, beautiful. Look at this. Wheel of Fortune and Ten of Swords, painful ending. This is a turning point as well, just like we saw the Chariot, and of course planning and decisions, Two of Wands, and the Chariot, we saw the World here, but here with the Chariot charging ahead. So this is a lot of like initiatives for sure to bring about this new cycle. This is all about a new cycle, and how it's been truly mirroring back and giving us an opportunity, and giving the masculines an opportunity to start over. Ace of Pentacles, new beginning, 0. So lots of about new beginnings. The Ace of Pentacles are the number ones. Again, Magician energy. So we have the Magician as well. All right, so let's see what else, Bear. What else are messages? Okay, so we've got release, forgiveness, and the yes. What else for the masculines? Lots of messages, you guys. Wow. Lessons, yep. Union, soulmate, and pause. So the connections are in the state of pause, and they know that. And it's going to require a lot of forgiveness within, right? Judgment. This is it. Judgment is release and forgiveness. And this is a yes. I just feel this is confirmation of what there is no way around this, masculines. You got to face these things. You've got to release. And it's a moving forward, and it's a great embracing it, because it's just lessons, and what the break is leading you to, or the transition, right? The understanding, it's just leading you to your union, your soulmate union to self as well, right? The spiritual union to self, but union to self. Now, I feel like Spirit is definitely confirming the feminine energy here, where I said you guys will be aligning to soulmates as well. So I feel like in this separation, for some of you, this is not for all of you, you guys, but those feminines who are definitely just embodying their Empress energy and just really enjoying the space without needing the masculine, but because you've just been in this journey for some while, and you kind of already fell into this understanding and this kind of peace within, and you're constantly sending your union love, but you're also embracing, you know, new fresh energy for yourself as well. So I think that's very beautiful there. But also for some of them who are in karmic connections, right, just lessons of all prior relationships for the masculine. So this is a big review here. I think the masculines know that some of you have been open to another connection, and it has definitely paused the union here. And that is something they've needed to also. It's part of the journey of understanding the separation, but why they need to walk this alone. Because the truth is, they've left you alone also, feminines. And you also mirrored back of what this looked like to walk alone, which has some of you led you to this new energy coming into your life for a different timeline, but it's also showing them the lessons behind their own connections, and this break to really separate themselves, also to realign their soul and to look at things again from a higher perspective. So let's see, what is the guidance, what message and guidance for the masculines? What messages and guidance for the masculines? Yeah, we got here illusions and healing. And so here you might be fooling yourself, or others are fooling you. Don't let your mind or someone else put lies into your head. You know your own truth. Be careful of people who don't have any integrity. Take off the blindfold and see what is real. And that's what's happening. The blindfold has fallen, and they have to, there's no spiritual bypassing this. They need to really sit with themselves, and that's why we have the healing, solitude. Literally say solitude, this card. I love this healing card, because the space is needed for them to see. It's time to see. And this is a time to focus on you and heal your inner wounds, traumas, and inner child. Use this time to be by yourself and to work on yourself. And so it is, right? And so it is for the masculines, as it's important for a lot of them. Okay, so more guidance, Spirit. It's really more healing confirmed for the second time here. So I lay it in a field of many flowers and become part of the landscape. Wild flowers begin to grow between the cracks of my soul, and my heart blooms in beautiful unison. So this is an understanding how the things have grown within in our lives, right? And so now it's time to allow things to grow more in unison, that are more resonant to our soul in this time alone. It's like a lot of healing. I love that the sun is here. And again, this is a number 4 energy, which is again that Emperor energy, embodying Emperor energy, self-love. Yeah. A lot about inner healing, inner child here, you guys. Look at this self-love here. I spent so long outside my body that I've forgotten how soft and strong she or he really was. she or he welcomes me back with open arms and reminds me that I always have a home. And it's a time for masculines to really re-energize the soul within and come home to themselves. And this deck, you guys know how much I love the 9. And this is the 9 Hermit energy, which is also that gaining wisdom, solitude moment, and very much here. And then inner child. And this one is a 5, so this is part of the change that's required within the masculine. I tell my inner child that I'm sorry. I am ready to nurture her with love to heal her wounds. And masculines are really, we have the divine feminine, so there's a lot of embracing that feminine in within the healing energy, the emotions, the inner child, to love the inner child on a feminine level, which is the nurturing aspect of our energies. And again, I'm ready to nurture her with love to heal her wounds. And I know these cards are her, but you guys know he or she put it as applied. It's just how the cards are read. But here we are again, a lot about healing inner child traumas and dropping illusions and releasing. So this is the energy I have for the masculines today. And I really thought this was a main focus on the masculines energetically, because I feel like a lot of the harsh energies are happening within the masculines. Yes, feminines we've experienced, and we may feel some of this too. So some of you are feeling the mirroring. If you're already a healed feminine higher timeline, like I said, do rest. Some of you may feel the energies and pick up some of this from your masculine. So it's just a time of rest. Acknowledge it's not yours, and allow your body to rest and take time as well, and to listen to yourself, and drink a lot of water. As always, water is very important. And ground as well in those stages where you kind of feel emotions that are not yours. So feminines and masculines, I love you. I'm going to leave it right there. Please like, share, subscribe, click that bell button if you enjoyed my frequency. But with that said, live always relentlessly in striving aspiration. This is the evolution of your soul, and I'm here to nurture you. Until next message. Bye.